Wednesday, BrewTubers. It's been a fair while since my last video. I've mainly been doing my Lager Saga series of videos, which have been rather successful actually, I think. Nearly halfway through. The highlights so far, the Flensburger Gold, the first one I did, and is it Mittenwalder Jager Dunkel. They've been the highlights so far. So yeah, so I've mainly been doing my Lager Saga series videos. Did brew a Fuller's London Porter a couple of weeks ago. On the 22nd of May I brewed that. That's the night of the Manchester attacks. And I bottled it the day after the London attack, so that's not so good. Called the beer Defiant though. Again, with my sort of railway interest, the Defiant is a engine. It's a Great Western Castle class locomotive, which is up Acquainton Road at the moment, which is a nearby steam railway place. Great name as well. So yeah, it's called Defiant. So yeah, Fuller's London Porter recipe. Tastes excellent. It's a really dark chocolate roast flavour to it. Wonderful. So I've got 18 bottles of that. I've got one 5-litre metal mini keg, and I've experimented with a plastic food grade jerry can. So it's got a top to it. Here's a photograph. So it's got a top you can you can open to put the beer in, and a tap at the bottom. So far it's not been very successful. It started leaking from the bottom tap, so I've lain it on its back and tightened it up a little bit, but that's not so good. Rather disappointed with that already. May not get another. It's more of an experiment than anything else. It only cost £6.99 I think from the range. I did a big 20-litre one for £9.99, but thought I'd start off with a 10-litre, so we'll see how it goes. I think the pressure is going to be too much for the seals on it. Don't think it's going to work very well. But yeah, it tastes really good. The starting gravity on that was, I think it was 1.056. And it finished quite high actually at 1.018. Stopped fermenting, so I thought, well, sod it, I'll bottle it. So it should have gone down to 1.014, but didn't. So bottled now, a little bit sweeter than it should be, but I think it would taste fine. Batch primed it, 25 litres with 115 grams of sugar, dextrose. So that's all done, and we've just got to wait for it to bottle condition. Homebrew, the BrewShed is up, it's fully assembled. So just the final bit of outside decoration to do, so just sort of fancy ornaments and finials and things like that to put on it. Here's a couple of photos of construction. So my dad built it. I did a couple of bits of painting, but yeah, my dad built it mainly. Got the whole of the interior to do as well. So we're just planning the bench, which will be up on one side of the wall where the windows are. So that will be have a sink in the middle, and then plug sockets either end. The Bulldog brewer will be on the far left with a step down for the sparging element of it, and my hot liquor tank will be on the other side. It'll be open underneath, so I can put the buckets and things down. Going to get a nice Chesterfield to go in there as well. A little table for my beers. Got one or two fridges earmarked to go in there. Yeah, going to make it quite nice, quite comfortable as well. A little extractor fan for obviously the humidity. Got a few sort of posters and not posters, but like tin metal signs on the wall, like Courage Best Bitters and Guinness and the Cockin and all sorts, whitbreads. Going to get Benskins ashtray because I'm Watford Benskins, and trying to see if I can mount that on the wall somewhere. So yeah, going to fill the walls with pointless tap, but trying to make it really comfortable, but a working space as well. So the back of the shed will be working space, the front of the shed will be brewing space. It's a 10 by 8 shed, 10 foot by 8 foot shed, so it's big enough. Yeah, so that's the brew shed. Next brew will be this weekend. My friend's coming over and he's quite interested in how I do my brewing. So I'm going to brew the English IPA from the the English IPA from the DK Bible homebrew beer book. I don't know what it's like, but yeah, going to give that one a go. Looking at possibly going down the keg line in time. Don't really know much about kegging beers, but it's a pain in the arse bottling all the time. Need to get a better system for bottling as well, because it is rather horrible to do at the moment. My crown capper is knackered already, I think. It's just so much effort to cap the beers. I might get one of those lever bench press ones. There's some quite nice looking ones out there, so might get one of them, and also looking into kegs as well. Yeah, so my main concern at the moment is obviously just getting that brew shed built, get the interior sorted, and then think about things like kegging after it's built, where I can, where after everything's in, see how much space I've got left over. But yeah, I'm going to get one of those bench gappers, because the current one's just too much hassle. So yeah, that's brew shed. Greene King, Bury St Edmunds Brewery. Went there last weekend for a friend's stag do. Fascinating place. Really was interesting. I know some of their beers are quite questionable in terms of quality, but the brewery is interesting. A huge brewery it is. I think they have 44 acres of land in Bury St Edmunds. Serve their beers, will have presence in 103 countries, in the FTSE 100, 44,000 employees, and the most staggering fact, I think, is 4.5 million pints of beer brewed each week. That's a lot of beer. But looking at the size of the brewery and the size of the tanks they have, no surprise really. But yes, it's very interesting place. Smelt lovely. So the tour lady met all down at the bottom in the have like a brewery cafe and an upstairs bit. So met downstairs in the cafe. She took us outside and just told us a bit about the history. Then after that went into the main brew house. Talked a little bit about the process of brewing. Went right up to the top where the liquor tanks are stored. Beautiful views out of Bury St Edmunds. Then went back to the cafe, had a private room where we served lots of their different types of beer, and talked. They explained to us as well the different types and different styles. They put on a finger buffet for us, which was excellent. Really good food as well. Not like Iceland finger not like something we get from Iceland. Proper homemade sort of sausage rolls and cheese tarts and things like that. Really impressive spread. Got a couple of jugs of beer. So yeah, it was good. It was very good. Well recommend it. £25 per person, I think, including the buffet. So fairly reasonable, and it's a good day out as well. Some very nice pubs in Bury St Edmunds. Would have stayed there longer really if I could. The Wetherspoons is quite nice, the Corn Exchange. Very grand hall almost. Lovely fire at one end and the big long bar. And also lots of Greene King pubs as well, who actually serve their beer well, rather than some Greene King pubs further afield where the quality of the beer and the taps, the way they look after the taps is rather questionable. But in Edmunds itself is actually quite nice. So yes, that was last weekend. Yeah, and everything's going well, really. Not much else to comment on. The Cameron's Castle Eden Pale Ale I brewed a couple of weeks ago is very good indeed. Made a big mistake with that beer though, didn't stir in the priming sugar well. So half of it's really fizzy, some of it's rather flat. The really fizzy one kicks up all the sediment from the bottom, so that's not very good. As you might saw on my Facebook thread, well not thread, but on the BrewTube Facebook page, posted a photo or two of the London Porter and got some rather nice comments about using the hop spider as a filter when you putting the beer into the bucket for bottling. So that's a good idea if you want to pinch it. The lager, there we go, that's a good one, lager. My first lager, the Dortmunder Export, that is in the fridge now. So I think it's a month in the fridge at 3 or 4 degrees Celsius. So came out rather an interesting colour though, like a fruit beer. Here's a photo of it. So I've got quite a few bottles of them in the fridge at the moment. No idea how it's going to turn out. Can't remember what it tasted like out of the fermentation vessel either. My priority is getting bottled and getting it back in the fridge again. But we'll see. It's the first time doing a lager, so I had a lot of problems. I think I've still got some problems with the ink bird. It's just the control panel is just a nightmare. I can't seem to change the temperature at the moment, and I had a problem where I couldn't. It came up with a funny status HD3 or something like that. So I had a lot of problems with the ink bird, and I don't think they're fully resolved yet. So I'm going to have to check on that. I might have to get another one. So again, a bit disappointing with ink bird, but if it worked, it would probably be very good. But at the moment, I'm struggling with it, so I'm going to take a look at that. Well, probably this weekend, just to see what's happening with it. Right, I've waffled on for long enough. My throat is killing me. I could do with a nice cold pint now, actually. Sorry for the absence of any beer. Just had one for dinner and didn't really fancy another one, so what can you do? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this rather lengthy update. Cheerio.